So this is a grade book that my dad and I recreated together because he had told me a story about how when he was in high school, teachers would often pick one person, usually the person with the highest grades in the class, to be the head of the class or junle of the class, and they would help the teacher calculate the grades for the other students. And he told me that as long as the boys were passing classes in high school, they would be not put in the draft. And this is South Vietnam. So as head of the class, when he saw that some of his friends in class were failing, he fudged the numbers a bit for them. And that lasted for 2 years because he was head of the class for 2 years. But then when they weren't in the same class anymore, the third year, they failed out, and he later found out that they both passed away fighting in the South Vietnamese military. So I sewed the pages together, and I talked to him about how the grid was laid out, and then bounded it together, and then I actually sent it to him in Boston. So I shipped it out to him over there, and then he filled it in with the names that he could remember from his class. He remembered quite a few, and then he, filled in the grades as he thought would be kind of average. And then he sent it back to me to bring here to Washington, D.C. I kind of think about this as like a metaphor in some ways for how the children of refugees often have to piece their histories together. This is not an exact copy by any means of the original grade book, but we still try and recreate things anyways, and we still try and piece together those fragmented histories in the best ways that we can. And so I kind of see this as a metaphor for like how we're trying to make sense of our histories that are so fragmented. And we know that we're always kind of reaching for it, and we'll never quite get there to having a holistic story that's complete, but we're doing it anyway because that's all we can do.